What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we're gonna talk about Litecoin. Alright, and before we begin, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And also, if you are not so new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back. I got a great video planned for you guys today. So first, we're gonna talk about the fundamentals. What is Litecoin and what is going on in Litecoin life right now, and of course we're gonna look into the charts. All right, so let's get to the fundamental. Okay, so before we begin, one quick thing: this is not financial advice, of course. This is purely for education and entertainment purposes only. I came across this interesting article that was published in last year June. It says that YouTube is shadow banning crypto content. Now I personally have experienced this because I follow certain people who are crypto expert in YouTube, and some of their videos actually are kind of gone. So I don't know, I'll put this link below, so if you guys know something about this, I would love to hear it on comments. Of course, what is going on actually? Is YouTube trying to diminish crypto content, or is it like a bug or a glitch? We don't know. So if you know, please put a comment below. Fundamentals is going to be really short, so I'm going to keep it simple and give you an idea. All right, and personally I currently hold a certain amount of Litecoin. I'm hoping to increase that amount in the future. And for me personally, this is a short-term trade. I'm not planning on holding Litecoin for a longer period of time. My longer period of time crypto asset would be, of course, Bitcoin or Ethereum. But of course, in the short run, I think this is looking good and it will be a really good trade. So if you guys are thinking of doing it in the long run, of course, think about it. But I personally prefer holding this coin in the short run. Okay, so let's look at my portfolio right now. So we are at $1,667. Of course, this is changing every second and every minute. And I recently purchased, of course, Litecoin and Stellar Lumens. That's what they call Stellar Lumens. Only, of course, in small quantities, but I will be increasing my Litecoin percentage to actually maybe somewhere around $500. I only bought like $20 worth of Litecoins because I didn't have money. So when I get money next time, I will definitely increase that amount to $500, but I will definitely keep you guys updated. So this is where the portfolio at right now. We will look into the charts when you do the technical side of it. As for now, this is it. All right, so what is Litecoin? Now, in my personal opinion, I think it's a bit similar, not bit actually, kind of similar to Bitcoin, but Litecoin is actually 4 times faster than Bitcoin, same security levels and low transaction fees. So actually for Bitcoin and Litecoin, the transaction fees are different, and there are only 21 million Bitcoins, but Litecoins there are 4 times more. There are 84 million Litecoins. So basically Litecoin is, guys, if Bitcoin is gold, Litecoin is silver. Honestly, I personally think that because Bitcoin is at such a higher demand, of course people are looking for other alternate coins. Of course, there's Ethereum, Polkadot and many other coins. So I'm pretty sure Litecoin will definitely catch up with Bitcoin in the long run, but I'm not sure because the crypto space, it's getting tight, guys. This is kind of reminding me of the .com boom back in the early 2000s, but honestly it's kind of a survival of the fittest kind of game. There are 6,700 cryptocurrencies, so it's really hard to say all of these will survive, but definitely Bitcoin will be there because they have the money to do anything. But of course, all of these other coins, I'm not sure. That's why I'm doing a short-term trade with this particular coin, because I'm not sure whether it will last in the long run. All right, but that does not mean it won't. So I could be wrong, but again, I'm personally in Litecoin as a short-term trade, maybe 1 or 2 years. As you can see here, guys, Litecoin has a market cap of $9 billion and it's rising. We will look into the charts to see how this price action is going. So that's there. And the other thing is, guys, so with any other currency, you know, whether it's fiat or crypto, you need people to make transactions using this current currency. So we know that Bitcoin is currently being used by certain merchants in America and in worldwide. Culture Kings, for example, they're using Bitcoin payments. I have a photography company and I use accept Bitcoin payments as well. So there are plenty of merchants who are actually getting into this crypto scene and they're accepting payments. And the future of cryptocurrencies solely rely on how many people are actually using this to make any kind of transactions, whether to buy or sell or hold. So right now, this is good news. All right, this is good news if you are looking to get into Litecoin. Of course, consider this fact: we have 39,000 merchants who accepts Litecoin with Flexa. Flexa is a payment partner sort of a thing, but these are all US based companies. I don't think any of these are international. I'll put this article in the description so you can have a look. But this is actually good news. So more people are trying to accept other cryptocurrencies into their payment methods, which is actually a good thing because it provides flexibility for people, because not everyone can afford to buy Bitcoin. Lastly, I think one reason that you should consider getting into Litecoin before it's too late is that institutions are buying into Litecoin. So institutions are basically, you know, whales, like big guys with big money, with big billion-dollar companies. So crypto space is almost a verge at a breakout. So I'm pretty sure in 5 to 10 years this will be huge. We'll be doing more payments with crypto, of course. So maybe that's why institutions are buying into these other old coins like Litecoin. And they're buying it at a premium price. So they're hoping that this would go up eventually. So this is a good indicator for us to consider buying Litecoin or putting Litecoin in our wish list. All right, so I'll put this article as well. Of course, this is a good thing, but again, my point of view is I can't tell you what's going to happen in the next 10 years. But of course, there will be cryptocurrencies, but which currencies will there be is the questions. But if big guys are buying in, that's a good indicator for retail investors to at least consider something like this. Alright guys, that's it for a short fundamental review of what Litecoin is and what are the green indicators that you should look into before buying in. Of course, first understand and read up on what Litecoin is. It's pretty much a smaller version of Bitcoin. Like I told you, if Bitcoin is gold, Litecoin is gonna be silver. And will there be a future for it? Definitely there should be, but I'm personally in this right now as a short-term trade. So that's my opinion. And again, but that does not mean I am 100% right. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Crypto space is still new. And the third thing is, of course, big and larger institutions are buying in. So this is also good indicators for retail investors to consider getting into Litecoin before it's too late. And the other thing is more merchants. 39,000 merchants are accepting Litecoin. So this is also another green indicator. But again, you're gonna have to have a strategy for investing or trading, and it doesn't matter whether it's crypto or stocks. You need to have a strategy, and I will do a whole another video on how you can make a strategy with investing and trading, so you know what to do, what exactly you want to do. But honestly, if you don't have enough money to purchase Bitcoin, of course, you know, put any kind of money. I personally recommend looking at Litecoin and, you know, at least putting a certain amount, maybe $200-300 if you have some, and just keep it in there. It wouldn't hurt you. All right guys, so that's it for the fundamentals. So let's jump into the technical analysis. Alright guys, so we are doing the fundamentals right now, and please hit the subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in, and hit the subscribe button. As you can see, we're gonna look at two charts, and I'm gonna give you my arguments as to why you should consider buying this or putting this on your watch list. I currently do own Litecoin, so let's get to it. So as you can see, we are looking at the Litecoin versus USD chart. Now there are a few things that we need to pay attention to, and I'm always one of those key things are the volume. All right, so if you guys can see the chart. All right, now this was during the 2018 boom. As you can see, hold on, let me get the so yeah, so this was during the 2008 boom. Like, look at this huge peak over here, of course, from $48 to what, that's 560% up to $50 mark to 371. That's like a 500% gain. So that was a huge gain. Of course, we know the Bitcoin market hit the moon as well, and then of course you see the collapse. You can see this collapse in every market, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course Litecoin and such. Now, so look at the volume over here, guys, right? And pay attention to this. Hold on, let me draw around it. All right, so look at that volume. All right, so of course, you know, smart money goes in areas like this, and of course this is FOMO money, you know, FOMO, fear of missing out money. So if you someone who put money, if you know, or if you are someone who put money in these areas, kudos to you. Now that's how you do a smart trade, of course. But if you got in here just like most of the people, 90% of the people, then I feel bad for you. All right, and of course the levels over here, and then we'll have to pay attention to the levels over here. Now, from 2019 to 2021, this is a 2-year bear market cycle, as you can see, from here, and recently Litecoin actually broke that cycle at this point. Now that's another indicator breaking the bear market trend line, of course. And the volume is increasing, so I'm pretty much seeing history repeating itself. I personally believe that Litecoin is a sleeping giant, and when Bitcoin actually, the heat for Bitcoin will somehow convert into these other coins, and that's when people will jump into coins like these, right? So as you can see, the volume over here is kind of similar to volume over here. So this is accumulation, like smart money, people with, of course, really good trading strategies. This is where these guys come in. So this is where you always buy in when no one talks about it and when it's down. All right, the key is, it's very simple: buy it when it's low and sell it when it's high. All right, so this is actually this volume over here. This is smart people putting their money in here. All right, of course. And all right, and I want to show you one thing. All right, so we got two indicators. Of course, the volume is exponentially increasing, especially around here, of course, and compared with that and the previous volume, it's making the story is putting its pieces together, right? And the second thing is the Litecoin versus Bitcoin just broke it trend line. All right, and it broke a trend line in July. All right, so I want to show you guys one thing. So this is called the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? And let's compare this with our charts. I always do this, like, it's really fun and it kind of makes sense It has always made sense to me. Some people say this is like all boo hockey, but like for me it's just, it completely makes sense, and it's kind of true. This is how the market sentiments work. So if we take this and compare it with our chart, right, of course this area, this boom is obviously this part of the chart, right? This part of the chart. And of course you have your hope, optimism, belief, and thrill and euphoria. That's the top. And of course what goes up must come down. All right, and then this complacency is pretty much over here. Of course that happens. And of course then the downward spiral, which is basically this coming down, you know, complacency, anxiety, denial, and anger. All right, so we are over here, and this bit is similar to this bit. What does that tell you, right? And this is actually a cycle. This goes in, it's a cycle, right? So that's why I have a good idea about it, and that's why I got in this early. And I honestly think this will happen again. Of course it will take some time, but I just so this is the cycle. All right, I'll put the link to this, you guys can have a look. It's called Wall Street cheat sheet. And we are over here now, and this is where smart money gets in. All right, like smart people with, you know, big money, and of course retail investors who are smart. This is where they put their, you know, buying stocks. Buy it when it's low. It's great. Warren Buffett said, buy it at doom and sell it at boom. Right? Okay, so few things to, of course, talk about the chart. So these levels, all right, I highlighted these levels. Of course this one, 139, 140, these are really good support levels. All right, so this is one good support level. And of course this one, of course we know this higher top level is also this is also a good support level. Right, so we know previous resistance level becomes support in the future. So these are good levels. All right, and I'm pretty sure this market will break through these levels, you know, of course given time. All right, and so this came up, stopped over here, and then came down, started accumulating a little bit, and went back, broke this support level, went down and came back up again. So that became resistance. So this is why this 280-ish level, I think, is a good support level. And of course this right here, right? So I personally like, now as you can see, the lowest support level has been broken by the market, and it of course came down a bit, but it was broken. So this is a good sign. So these are really good signs for you to consider this. All right, that's what I'm telling you, this is a sleeping giant. And yeah, all right. And the other thing, guys, so we are still at the USD chart. So if you buy in at a time like this, of course stop losses won't be that devastating again. So you consider this, right? You buy in at, let's say you bought in at $40. That's like really low, right? You bought 1,000 units, and of course you buy over here. Where is the where do we see the highest risk? If you buy over here, is it more riskier, or is it this area more riskier? Of course this has low risk. Of course there's still a risk. I'm not saying the risk is zero, but at least over here the amount that you lose is lower than the amount you will lose over here, because you know this is at the top, and we don't know what's going to happen. Specifically, if a stock or any asset is in price discovery, it could come down. I mean, and specifically in crypto, there are huge downfalls happening all the time. And if you're not psychologically ready for something like this, you're gonna get crushed. So that's why it's important for you to get in these levels. This is also a really good area to buy in, of course. And but if you had bought in over here, let's say you bought in at $41, like in this area, you would have made 288% of a profit. Still a good amount. All right. So, and speaking of lows, I think the lowest point will be $7, and of course I don't think it will go below this low, which is 27 mark, which we can see the market. Of course there's accumulation over here, and there's support. So I don't think the stock will go down from here, but still it's comparatively lower than buying in at a higher level. And that's why I'm telling people who are interested in getting in Bitcoin right now, that the risk right now is really high. All right, you should have bought in at lower levels. All right guys, so that's it for the LTC versus USD chart. So let's look at the LTC versus BTC chart. All right, so that's Litecoin versus Bitcoin. Alright guys, so we are looking at the Litecoin versus Bitcoin chart. Now, first, again, let's look at the volume. So, the volume over here, alright, during this huge wave, of course, alright, look at that. Oh yeah. Alright, and then the volume right now, what's going on? Okay, it's increasing, of course. And then the volume over here is of course really low. The volume here is increasing. Now I know this is at a lower time, and that's why I'm talking about this. If you want to get into this trade, and of course we'll talk about more of these drawings that I did. If you want to get into a trade like this, I think now is the good time, right? And of course, the other important thing that I should tell you guys is, if you have a certain amount of money, don't put all of it in crypto. Don't put all of it in just one thing, okay? And specifically crypto, it's a really unknown space for everybody. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. Of course, CAC recently filed a lawsuit against Ripple. So the banks are of course after crypto. I don't think it will happen to Litecoin anytime soon, because Litecoin is not considered a security. But still, anything could happen. So if you got in at a lower level, all right, and the risk that you are facing is lower compared to getting it at a higher level. So, and the other thing is, if you have a certain amount of money, put 20% of that money in crypto. Let's say you have $1,000. Of course, you guys are retail investors, students mostly, so you don't have that kind of money. So if you have like $1,000, of course put maybe $200 or $250, maybe $300, right? And even if you lose that money, all of it, let's say something happens and this goes boop, it's fine, because it's only $200 or $300. At least buy one. This is really cheap right now. The Litecoin prices at I think Coinbase is like 150. It's below 200, right? So it's really easy for you to get in right now, affordable, all right? And if you can afford $1,000, if you can afford $1,000 to crypto, do it. But if you have $10,000, don't put all of the money in crypto, because even if you could be the best trader ever, I would not personally recommend it. Of course, go with that 20% rule, right? Put a certain amount, an amount that you are willing to sacrifice, all right? So yeah, that's the other thing that I have to mention. And of course, again, this is not financial advice, and this is how I do usually do things. Of course, you can use this video as for education and entertainment purpose, but this is not financial advice. And of course, you have to do your own research. All right, now the important things that we have to look at is these impulsive wave patterns, right? So you got the ABC over here, and of course we can again use the Wall Street cheat sheet to it. But what I liked about here is, so you guys see these channels, the smaller channels. So we are seeing more of these over here. So this was during the, of course, 2018 boom. You see a channel over here, and this is similar to that. And of course, this recently broke out this channel, this bear channel, and it's trading over here now. Of course, I'm saying if there's a higher chance, if Bitcoin comes down, like again I told you, Bitcoin is the major player, of course, we all know it, and Litecoin, Polkadot, Ethereum, they are the second players. Of course, when Bitcoin gets too high, people will definitely get into other assets that are currently usable and in circulation. And that's why I think Litecoin is a sleeping giant. And that's why I personally believe that you should get in right now before it's too late. Okay, and of course I made my points in the fundamentals. The usability of this coin is still high. There are merchants still who accept Litecoin. Of course, it will be popularized, and when the stuff hits the fan, when everyone started talking about this will definitely go up. But of course, Bitcoin has to come down for that to happen. Okay, so we don't know when it's gonna happen and how it will happen, but if I were you, that's why I did, that's why I got into Litecoin right now, because I believe it's going to be a really good trade. Now I want you guys to pay perfect attention to these impulsive waves, of course, and I think these are correction waves. So this is where basically the accumulation is happening. Of course, smart money gets in, and I personally think that this will shoot over the sky and definitely break these levels, right? But again, it won't happen any day, anytime soon. Of course, it might take a month or maybe more, but for me, I don't really care, because I just put some money in it and I'm gonna forget about it. And of course, you can have trading alerts in trading.com, the software that we are using. It's free version, of course, and you guys can definitely use this one. I found it very helpful. Now, so I think that's it for the charts, guys. Please do your own research, and I think this is, again, this coin has so much potential. It's the second oldest coin. Of course, Bitcoin is the first, and the usability is increasing. So of course, we know that this has some sort of a future potential. And again, I do not know how this will happen and when it will happen, because everything is uncertain. We do not know about the future. We can't read the future. All right, and if someone is saying that they are 100% certain about the future, that person is lying to you. All right, that's why I'm telling you, you got to do your own research, and you have to invest with your own risk. You have to be able to manage the risk. You need to have the guts. You have to be mentally prepared to be ready for something like that. And that's why I'm telling you, get in right now, because you can have really low stop losses. If something happens, the amount that you're gonna lose is lower compared to if you get in high. And of course, use the 20% rule. Don't put all of your hard-earned money. You go to the restaurant, do the waitering thing, do your cleaning job, and you get the money. Don't put all of it in one asset. All right, be very careful with your money. Put 20%. That's all I'm saying. Even if you lose it, it won't damage your living. Like, if you have $1,000, don't put $1,000 in crypto. Put $200. Put $300. All right, because that's something that you could, like, it doesn't really have to matter if you lose it. Still, this is just at a lower price, so you can get in. I'm telling you. All right, so that's it for today, guys. For this video, and these are my points that I personally think why Litecoin is something that you should consider buying or putting in your wish list or watch list. I recently I did buy a Litecoin, and I'll be increasing my holdings in the coming months or coming weeks. you know, but I personally think that this is up to something. All right, of course there's evidence for it, and that's why I decided to buy into this. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. And if you learned something, please hit the subscribe button, and I'm glad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So till then, see ya.
Know that you a target and gotta finish what you started. Life of being an artist, gotta show them where your heart is. Put your all in, keep calling, keep going, don't stall it. Don't fall for what they all been dishing out. Just be yourself and it'll work it out. I wonder